Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another Rev review. Series of videos where I either take new product that is just being introduced to the marketplace, or maybe it's a product that I've been using for years and I wish to tell you about it. What we're going to talk about today is helmets, helmet technology. Try not to let your eyes glaze over as I put this information out to you. The Lazer company from Belgium, they have come up with a new technology to address the needs of, this slip plane technology, or, when you crash and you hit your head, there's a linear force, but then there's also a rotational force. And especially if you've got quite a bit of momentum, you're going to hit, your head and helmet are going to bounce off the pavement, and you'll probably get another impact and another impact, but it'll be at a different place. And so there's been, for a while, a system called MIPS. And MIPS is about that same type of technology, but Lazer, and by the way, Lazer was using MIPS on their helmets. So it's not like they didn't believe in the idea, but they have gone and created their own proprietary system, and they call it Kineticore. And the best way to describe it is like crumple zones in a car. If you've seen any of the crash test dummy videos, when you have a car hitting a solid object and you see how certain areas of the front of the vehicle collapse, but the passenger cabin is still safe. So that's the concept behind this. So what you'll start to notice now is the logos will be more apparent. This green, seafoam green, almost like a Bianchi color, is the new coloring and the new logo for this design. Now, interestingly, I forget which race it was, but Jumbo-Visma uses Lazer helmets and several other pro teams, but they're a world pro team. And they had the helmet without any of their team graphics on it in one of the races, and the helmet had just been released, and of course they had it first. And I placed my order. It said quantity 1, but someone else across the country probably either the inventory was wrong or they snatched it up before I was able to hit submit. So disclaimer, full disclosure, whatever you want to call it, I purchased this with my own funds. This is not a sponsored video, and this is not free product. I paid for it myself. So let's do the unboxing of it, and then we'll get into some of the review. So, the packaging is supposed to be a little bit more eco-friendly. The manufacturing is supposed to be more eco-friendly. They talk about 12.8% less plastics across their whole product range. So some more, some less. Helmets are made out of plastic. They're made out of foam and things like that. So in the bag, in the box, you're going to get a nice bag. So there it is when you transport your helmet. As far as looks, I'm not a big fan of the color schemes that they've chosen. If I want a white helmet, I want a white helmet. If I want a black helmet, then I want a black helmet. I don't want white, black, or blue and black, or gray. And I want solid color schemes for my helmets. That's just the way I like my helmets. So, am I a fan of the look? Not so much. And it was hard to decide, but I figured the white being something that would match any kit that I decide to wear, I decided to go with it. So let's just get down to the meat and potatoes of this. Inside here, what I want you to look at, and I'm going to try to keep these straps out of the way, but inside here, these little blocks these little blocks here are what this new design is all about, okay? These little blocks here will crush in a linear impact and then will break off in a rotational impact. Now, if you can think of maybe lugs on a mountain bike tire, you know, you have those lugs and then they rip off. That's kind of the technology here. And also, like I said, a crumple zone on a vehicle. Now, they've been using MIPS for many years in many of their models. And just a little historical fact, they claim to be the oldest helmet company in the world, and they've been around since 1919. So I've not checked the veracity of that, but there it is. And they credit MIPS with the fact that they've made it more public that this is an important technology to include in helmets. But they found that they wanted to do things differently. And you know, one of the things is they have to pay a royalty to MIPS if they have their technology on their helmet. So they decided, well, we'll just create our own proprietary system. We'll make it better, we'll make it cheaper, and we'll improve some other things too. So one of the things that they're looking to improve, which is rather significant, was the weight of the helmet. If you've been subscribing, if you've subscribed to this channel or you've been watching this channel, please subscribe, by the way. If you're getting value out of this content, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. They, you know, they wanted to reduce the weight of the helmet. And for me, not be a reformed weight weenie, I thought that was a very important thing, because I have the Bullet 2.0, and this is it right here. And this Bullet 2.0 is a rather heavy helmet. And as an endurance cyclist, 100 miles, 200 miles, and then some, the weight of a helmet on your head is something I do want light. I do want it to protect me, but I want it to be light. And so this helmet, I wear it sparingly. I wear it on 100 milers or less. I don't like the weight of this helmet. So I was very happy to hear that one of the main focuses was to reduce the weight from the Bullet 2.0, which is this helmet here. And, you know, let's just take a look inside here, because it looks dramatically different now. The inside of this helmet is the Bullet 2.0, which is the helmet it's replacing. And this is the helmet that is the new helmet. So you can see the difference there. So weight was one of the big reasons why they wanted to create their own technology. Apparently it's been, I don't know, 10 years in the making. So the weight of the helmet itself, using less plastics and whatever, but then also the MIPS technology is an additional basket inside there. So weight, comfort of the helmet, because now you don't have this extra layer inside there. And if you look at a MIPS helmet, it's usually a yellow additional kind of basket inside here. They also wanted to reduce the price, because then they wouldn't have to pay the royalty fees over to MIPS. And they wanted to increase the ventilation, because being an Aero helmet, it doesn't have a lot of vents. It doesn't have a lot of vents. So you have to find a way for a helmet that has fewer vents than a road helmet to then provide ventilation. So yes, you want Aero, but yes, you want ventilation. And being an Aero road helmet, it's not just for time trialing. It's not just for triathlon. It is for all day, every day riding on your bike. Now, The thing I wanted to point out, or I saw it from another reviewer, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about it as well. This retention system that Lazer has in their helmets is very good. And in this case, it's just this little dial here. And what they did with the new helmet is they put this thing here. So, okay, it's larger. It should be easier to move. But I found it's not that easy to move. And you almost need two hands. Now, I can ride no-handed, put one hand on the front of my helmet and slide this on the back of my helmet, but a lot of riders can't. And maybe the situations are not conducive. They're not safe enough. Maybe in a pack, you're in a peloton, you're just not going to take your hands off the handlebars to adjust your helmet. Why would you adjust your helmet? I don't know, but let's just assume that some point during your ride you want to adjust your helmet. Okay. So I'm going to put this helmet on, and one of the things about this retention system that I've always liked about Lazer is that it's a nice, it takes your whole head as a circumference. Now, with a lot of helmets, they push the front to the back, or the back to the front, whichever way you want to look at it, but it pushes the retention system this way. And there's only a few helmets that do this to encompass your whole head and then make the adjustment. So that's what I've always liked about Lazer helmets, is they're more on a circumference side of things, okay? And why not? Let's talk about this real quick. When you put on a helmet, and I'm not going to go through all the adjustments of it, but this is the key thing. When you put that helmet on and you make that adjustment in the back, right? So, I mean, I guess I could do it, but it's just easier with one hand holding it and then the not even a thumb wheel. It's now multiple fingers to do it. But when you put on a helmet, you should be able to shake your head from side to side, and your helmet should not come off. The straps are important for the impact, but the helmet should be snug. It should be comfortable without you needing the straps themselves, okay? I hope that looked goofy enough, because I want you to visualize it in your head when you go back to your current helmet or buy a new helmet at a bike shop. Now, one other thing, I've been geeking out a lot watching Silka videos with Josh Portner. And one of the things he talks about a lot is marginal gains you can get with just simple things that don't cost you any money. And one of them is adjusting your helmet straps. Now, this is not adjusted to me perfectly yet. I just literally took it out of the box. So I'll fuss with it a little bit, get it right, get it comfortable so that my earlobe is not being pinched. And we have this scenario here where these little triangle things should be right on your jawbone and leaving that clear and comfortable. Now, the other thing is, when you put your helmet on first, put your sunglasses up and over. These are my street driving sunglasses, but same concept. You just put the sunglasses over your straps, because if your straps are bulging out, that is not as Aero. But you would be surprised how many watts you can save with just these tiny little things. All right, so you adjust your straps, make sure that they're nice and tucked in. You can maybe even do a stitch, and like he says, use a contrasting color, and then you get some style points too. Adjust your straps so they're not flapping. Otherwise, you just spent $300 on a helmet and your straps are all over the place, and you've negated the gain, aerodynamic gain you would have gotten by buying the helmet. So one thing I want to do is, I saw from another reviewer where they talked about how the helmet is hard to put sunglasses in. I can see that now. If you have a fairly fragile frame, then you may not want to do this. And the Asos Scarab sunglasses come to mind. I've broken 2 of them already, so that should be a product review. They've broken twice on me because the way that the arms attach to the lens, it's just too weak. So you wouldn't want to be doing that with the Asos Scarab sunglasses, which were used in the Pro Peloton. So bad design in my opinion. All right, so these are some $99 glasses. I have purchased quite a few of them just so I have a bunch of different colors. I crush, lose, drop, scratch sunglasses all the time. So, all right, so that's the fit. Now, I'd like to hear from you what you think about the fit, how your helmets fit. Some people, I remember for a long time, I used to say some people are bell heads and some people are gyro heads. If you're more round, you'd fit one helmet. If your head is more egg-shaped, you fit a different brand. So leave a comment down below what helmets you've had a lot of success with. Now, the reason I was very excited about this helmet is, aerodynamic claims aside, it's supposed to be more aero, but I was just looking for a helmet that I could wear all the time, and because aerodynamics matters all the time. If you're a weight weenie, you really should be thinking about things that are far more important and far more relevant all the time, and that is rolling resistance on your tires, and aerodynamics are far more important than the weight of something. So if you're riding 20-ish miles an hour, or let's just say 35k an hour, rolling resistance and aerodynamics are far more important. Until you get to about an 8% grade or so at 250 watts or so, then weight comes into the picture, but it's still not that important. All right, so I've got a couple of other helmets here. This A-Bus helmet is another helmet I love. It fits really, really well, and it's got a very, very small profile. As a matter of fact, a customer one day came in and thought this was a kid's helmet. But no, it's actually mine. I wear a small. This is that's A-Bus Game Changer in the flip-flop color. And this is the Lamar Air Speed. Now, this is my lightest road aero helmet. Lamar is an Italian company, and they make really, really nice helmets, and they've been equipping the Astana team for years. So a lot of their stuff comes from pro feedback, I'm sure. So this is the lightest road aero helmet that I own. And just for S and G's, you can fill in the blanks for that, I also have a road helmet. So, for this comparison anyway. All right, so I'm going to grab the camera. I am going to weigh these helmets, and then we're just going to close out the video with the geeking out of the weight of these products. All right, now, honestly, it's because it's on your head that I think the weight is important. So let's do this and finish off the video. If we look here, we're going to set our gram scale. And as I mentioned before, this is the Bullet 2. And that's the helmet it's replacing. So that's sitting at 343. And now this is the helmet that it's replacing. Both of these are small. So 343 and 272. So let's call that 70 grams. That's pretty significant when it's on your head. The Game Changer is the other helmet I've been wearing a lot. As you can see by the sweat. Sorry, let's do that again. So now the Game Changer and the new Vento weigh the same. And then lastly, as far as road Aero, this is my Lamar airspeed at 253. So 20 grams, probably not noticeable. We'll see. I'm going to wear the Vento tonight at my evening shop ride. And then just for S&Gs, here is the Casque Valegro, which is a highly ventilated helmet, and that's at 223. Okay, so that's all for today. I appreciate your time and attention. If you would please like and subscribe, and we'll see you up the road.